Hello there. Good day to you. I hope you are absolutely wonderful today. Okay, already the whole blurry background is doing my head in, so we're going to put this back here. I am Claire Innes, and I am the founder of the Fertility Mentor. And here we are today with all of my top tips for any ladies who are trying to conceive, struggling with baby loss, and are feeling it a little more than normal round about Christmas. This is my practical top tips edition. So, this is for you if you are trying to conceive, trying to minimize alcohol, trying to look after your health. You might be trying to reduce your BMI, but you might not be. This is for you, and this is all of my tips on how to thrive and not survive over Christmas. Okay. My name is Claire Innes, as I've said, and I am the fertility mentor. I have worked on a one-to-one basis with over 300 women over the last 7 years. And my business is all about improving egg quality, getting your body ready to conceive, but also to carry that baby. I help women who have diminished ovarian reserve. A great deal of my clients have a higher or a lower BMI than they optimally should have. So they're looking to change their body weight to help regulate their menstrual cycle. Or very, very often, my clients are looking to bring down their BMI so that they can move forward with assisted reproductive technology. So that might be IVF, it might be IUI. I work with a lot of ladies who have PCOS or endometriosis, and I work with them using science-backed methods that they are in control of to improve their fertility. Okay. So, not everything here is going to be relevant to everyone, but I guarantee that there's going to be some nuggets in here for you if you are trying to conceive, you are burnt out, and you just need a little control over this Christmas period. So let's get stuck in without any further ado. My number one top tip is scheduling. Okay. Use your schedule. So if I go back to my kind of early 30s, late 20s, December basically means night out, lunch, meet up with this person. There's usually a lot of drinking involved, there's a lot of less than optimal meals involved. Just because it's December, ladies, doesn't necessarily mean that we need to drink every night and have all of the takeaways. What I usually tell my paying clients is to decide on a set amount of days that they are going to be comfortable with letting their normal standards slip. That might be their works Christmas night out, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Up here, New Year's Eve is huge. So it might be that they say to themselves, okay, on these days, I'm going to let my normal standards slip. I'm going to let myself have a drink. I'm going to let myself order whatever I want off of the menu. I ask them to diarize those days and otherwise do not change your mindset. Stick with your plan and you're managing it fine right now. So just think the rest of December, if this isn't a planned, scheduled day, then I'm going to continue with what I'm doing. I'm going to eat the meals I've prepared. I'm going to get my steps in. I'm going to take my supplements. December, and this is a little bit of tough love here, guys, okay? December doesn't mean that everything needs to go to shit. This year, when are you going out? When are you going to let your hair down? Plan them in the diary and look forward to them and go. If you want to go to town, go to town. But the next morning it's up, out as normal. Okay. Number two, this isn't going to be relevant to everyone, but it's particularly relevant if you are tracking calories and if you're looking to minimize your BMI. Number two is calorie banking. Okay. So calorie banking is where you know that you have a certain calorie allowance on a daily basis and you're tracking and you know exactly what you're doing, but maybe it's Sunday night and you know that the following Friday you've got your work's Christmas party. What I would suggest to my clients to do, say they're normally tracking at 17 to 1800 calories per day, I would ask them to create a slightly larger deficit for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm not talking about a massive amount, by the way. I'm talking about between 100 to 200 calories per day. Bank those calories. I would always rather, if you're going to bank calories, that you do it before the actual night out or day out, because there's more chance that you're actually going to enjoy that day out and you're going to really savor the food. You're really going to enjoy that champagne. If you tell yourself that you're going to do it afterwards, you're just going to wake up the next day in a different mindset. You'll probably feel sluggish from the night before, from the excess, and you'll probably crave a McDonald's. Whereas if we flip that before we even do it, and you've banked, say, 600 calories from the few days before, you're going to go out and you're going to say, yes, I'm going to enjoy this. I have a plan. I've worked for this, and there's no place for guilt. Okay. There's no place for me to feel guilty here because this is in my plan and it's Christmas and I want to have a brilliant time. Number three is aim to maintain. Okay. When the shit gets real and when the party is going down, I do not want you aiming for weight loss, perfection. I don't want you sitting counting out the seeds that are going into your breakfast. I want you rocking around the Christmas tree, celebrating and having a brilliant time. The fact is, if you're watching this video, you have had a shitty time up till now. You might have experienced baby loss. You might have no idea why you can't fall pregnant. You might be in that really, really dark place where you can't even look in the mirror. I don't want you to exacerbate that by aiming for perfection over Christmas, passing up on the cheese, passing up on the celebrations. I want you to have a brilliant time. And by that, I mean, don't try and outdo yourself. Don't try and make Christmas week better nutritionally than the week before because it's going to be even harder. And Christmas is a time to enjoy yourself, isn't it? Number four is to plan your environment. So I talk about environment a lot with my paying clients, and it all comes from the amazing book Atomic Habits by James Clear. We want to plan our environment to make it easy to succeed and make it hard to fail, don't we? So if you are going to so and so's house for cheese and wine, there is an absolute guarantee that that house is going to have cheese there and there's going to be wine there. Okay. We know that cheese is high in saturated fats. We know that wine is really high in carbs and also that our body doesn't like it when we're trying to conceive. So if you're going to so and so's house for cheese and wine, and this is a day that you want to maintain your calories, I would recommend making sure that you have ate nutritiously before you go so that you have fats and carbs to spare. So, for example, that would mean really high protein breakfast and lunch. And that would mean making sure you've got all of your veggies in before you leave. Okay. And then that means that when you go to the cheese and wine place, if you decide to have some cheese and wine, you can still have nice balanced macros at the end of the night. And then you're not dealing with that guilt that so often comes with going outside of perfect in a TTC journey for your nutrition. If you're going to Auntie Ina's house for a buffet, can you take something with you? Can you take something leaner, maybe a bit more protein dense, rich in lovely, lovely plant-based fats? Can you take enough to share? You want to be included, don't you? You want to be in the fun. You don't want to be the one that's stuck in the corner with a glass of sparkling water and a couple of carrot sticks. So, can you think of something that you can prepare and bring ahead of time? And to be absolutely clear, I'm not meaning that you absolutely avoid the sausage rolls. Maybe you have one or two of the things that you really like, and then the rest of your plate is covered in filling but nutritious things. So I'm thinking things like lovely daily meats, berries. Berries are so Christmassy and they're so delicious. Okay. When we're thinking about environment in our own house, what about this is a classic one, and I'm sure it's not just the case in Scotland. Do people keep dropping off at you these big round tins of Quality Street and miniature heroes? Are they on the kitchen table, in the living room? Are you walking past the wrappers all the time? If this is you, put them out of sight as soon as they arrive. Seeing them sitting there 10 times a day is not going to help you. All that that's going to do is remind you that they're there. Okay? It might be the same with wine. If people drop wine or champagne off at your house and you would normally just leave it sitting there, put it out of sight. I'm not saying don't consume it. I'm not saying that by any means. But when you consume it, I want you to do it consciously. I want you to enjoy every single sip, every single bite. The whole point is you're in control. So it might be that you have a little rule. If someone drops this sort of thing off for you, it goes out of sight. You'll still know it's there, but for you to consume that, you're going to need to make a positive action to actually do that, aren't you? So that's environment. Number five is the bevy. I'm talking about alcohol here. And again, as with all things Fertility Mentor, there is zero judgment here. As I say to my girls all the time, if you've done it, I've probably done it 10 times over. If you are trying to conceive, you are probably stressed out of your box. Okay. There's a good chance that 2 Christmases ago, 3 Christmases ago, you would be the girl that I described at the start of this video with all the nights out, all the events. The Christmas used to look like this. Bucks fizz in the morning, cocktails before dinner, advocate whenever. They're always bringing out new flavors of Baileys, but there are smarter ways to do this. Okay. To be clear, if you don't want to drink, you do not need an excuse not to drink. You do not need to tell anyone why you are not drinking. If you want to have a drink, there are much smarter ways to use your calories than wine and beer. Okay. I'm a lager lover. I wish I wasn't. I love lager. Most of my clients tend to really, really like wine. Wine and beer, unfortunately, in terms of calorie consumption and what it does to our macronutrients and our glucose levels, no est bueno. So my top tip here is make spirits fun. Okay. Pimp out your spirits. If you really, really love the wine, if you really, really love the beer and you know that you'll feel left out, then have one at the start of the night. But make sure if it's lager, that it's your favorite lager, that it's been chilling, that it's in, it's presented nicely. If it's wine in a beautiful wine glass, not a shitty, crappy, warm wine. If you're only having one, make it delicious and make it count, and then move on to spirits. All right. When I move on to spirits, and this is probably more relevant if you're drinking at home, but the same goes if you're out and about. When I move on to spirits, I make sure that I have prepared and I've got some nice stuff in that can make it feel really, really festive. So, some examples, at Christmas time, I will make sure I've got a really lovely premium vodka in. I'll drink vodka, that's my spirit of choice. I'm not going to be sitting drinking Glens. I like to get myself a lovely Grey Goose. I know a lot of people are going mad for old vodka right now. I can't say I've tried it. What I like to do is get the one that I really like to make it feel special, and I have it in the fridge or in the freezer just to make it feel extra special. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but I have Saturday night glasses as well. So my Saturday night glass is a tall crystal glass. I also used to drink gin, so I've got a gin glass, and I also have lovely little copper cups. These only come out on occasions, and that's how I keep them feeling special. Okay, so if you are looking to get excited about spirits, if you're looking to consume spirits to keep your carbs lower, um, and that's what you're looking to do, then get excited about glasses and making it special. Okay. Similarly with ice, if you are having spirits, don't make the crappy little ice out of those baggies. I actually am so extra that I have a favorite ice. Okay. I know that sounds as wanky as can be, but I really like the huge ice cubes that you get. It's usually you get about half of, I think it's 500 grams that you get, but they're lovely and they just sit nicely in my glass and it just makes it feel that little bit more special. Lastly, get excited about your mixers and your garnish. It's Christmas time. If you like tonic in your gin, get the nice little bottles or the nice little cans. If I'm drinking, it's always the little mini bottles that I get or individual cans of my favourite mixer. I don't get, the 2 litre bottle. They've got a place in my house, by the way, but not when I'm trying to make it feel special. So get the citrus fruit out, get the nice vodka, get the nice berries, get the garnish on the go. Basically, we are looking to make spirits sexy. Okay. Number 6. Here's my giant hands. Number 6. Decide now what realistic looks like. Okay. While you're level headed, while you're planning, decide right now what you can be proud of. I talk a lot about not aiming for perfection. I work with a lot of type A women and they expect a lot of themselves. So have a word with yourself at the moment. Take into account that it's Christmas time. Just think now while you're being level headed, what are the indulgences you can still enjoy and be proud of that? Decide now what success looks like and then enjoy every single mini cheddar. It might be that you don't eat out, maybe you don't eat takeaway during the year normally, but it's December and you've decided, okay, I'm going to allow myself 2 takeaways because I'm so fucking busy and I'm going to treat myself. It might be, I know I keep coming back to alcohol. It might be that you don't drink on a normal week or month, but you're going to allow yourself 2 days where you decide that you are going to enjoy a couple of drinks. If you've made that decision in advance, when you're level headed, you will wake up after doing these things and feel proud of yourself. There's more chance you'll have a nice time and you'll wake up delighted with yourself and ready to keep going. Okay. Number 7, protein. Okay. A lot of the stuff that we love in a traditional Christmas dinner is very high in protein. Turkey, prawns, even sausages, if we get good quality ones, are quite high in protein. Enjoy it and get stuck in. Do not convince yourself that because it's Christmas, everything that you consume is going to be bad for you. And don't also convince yourself that because you're enjoying something, then that's a problem. There's a lot of really, really healthy shit in a Christmas dinner. Veggies galore. Don't talk yourself out of success before you even kick a ball. Okay. Number 8, it's easy to make good choices. Okay, so this is the mindset shift again. If we think of a traditional Christmas dinner, as we've said, the protein is easy. The starters are traditionally soup or a prawn cocktail. Again, these are lovely, healthy choices. Or you can make them healthy if you decide. Or if we go back to number 6, maybe you don't want to be healthy at Christmas dinner. Maybe you have decided in advance, Christmas dinner, I'm having whatever I want. I'm having as many Yorkshire puddings and pigs in blankets as I want. And that's the way it's going to be. Just think about it and then be proud of your choices. All right. Number 9, keep on moving. Okay. If you go to the gym, if you like to do workouts, I do not want you in the gym on Christmas Day unless that's something that you really, really want to do. I want you to decide now, ahead of time, how many workouts you can accommodate and make sure that they get done. It might be that you usually do 4 and instead you're going to do 2. It might be that you usually do one and instead you're just going to manage your steps. You decide what is doable and stick to that. Okay. And then we're back to this mindset shift of I'm proud I did what I say I would do, which if we didn't have this kind of conversation with ourselves could easily become, oh shit, I'm supposed to do 4 workouts a week and I haven't done 4 workouts a week. Okay. Alongside this is our steps. Okay. And this is particularly relevant if you are looking to minimize your BMI, if you suffer from inflammation. There's no reason, especially if you've got time off work, rocking around the Christmas tree, dancing, shopping. It is not hard to get your steps in over Christmas. Okay. Plan in how you're going to get your steps, especially if you're not working, and just get them done. If you don't go to the gym, honestly, it's not the end of the world, but prioritize steps. Moving around is 3 times more likely to get you the results you want than what you do in the gym. Okay? Number 10. Please do not let setbacks set you back. This is why planning is so, so important. Okay? Accept that you will have mornings where you feel a bit more sluggish. Accept that people do tend to make announcements over Christmas time that are going to be hard for you to hear. Go in knowing that this is going to happen and be kind to yourself, be nice to yourself, accept that you deserve to have a fucking brilliant time and then make it happen. Okay? Next day, straight back to the steps, the water. Even if you don't like what you see, action brings motivation. Motivation does not bring action. Okay? The number 11, I have ran out of hands. This is possibly the most important one. Know and plan your boundaries. Okay? Excuse me, I'm just going to hang that up. Sorry. Okay, know and plan your boundaries. Okay? Expecting and trying to plan a fairy tale movie style Christmas is likely to lead to disappointment. Okay, so I want you to think about your negotiables and your non negotiables and accept any help you are offered. And remember that your goal is to have a good time. Okay, so in terms of boundaries, do you know that you're going to your granny's house and do you know that this Auntie Ina is going to be cornering you saying, when am I getting a grandchild? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? If you know this is likely to happen, then you can feel free to avoid her, or you can have a conversation in your head where you think, okay, do I want to tell her what's happening? Because remember, there's nothing to say that you need to. There's nothing to say that you need to share your story with anyone you don't want to. But similarly, remember, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Have your response ready. If you know this is going to happen, you can either avoid this person and you could ask your partner or your friends to kind of bodyguard you from this person. If you don't want to do that, you can have your answer ready. Okay. It might be, it's none of your business. It might be laughing it off. If you know that your cousin, who you used to, sneak drinks with when you were teenagers out of the room, is going to say, oh, why are you not drinking? You have your answer ready. And again, it's up to you what you say. You might say something quite direct to them, like, why are you so interested in what I'm eating, what I'm drinking? Or you might say to them, oh, I'm driving, I'm taking the car. But as long as you know what you feel good about, and if you deliver that, then there's less chance of you spiraling the next day or on the way home. Okay? Specific to weight loss. Is there anyone in your family who likes to make other people feel bad to make themselves feel better? Is there someone in your life who might make passive aggressive remarks about your weight or something else that they have an opinion on? If there is, it's up to you again. Feel free to acknowledge that this is a worry and ask yourself frankly, what would you be proud of in this scenario? Do you want to smile sweetly and give them a quick remark, or do you want to confide in them? Again, if you don't think you can cope with this, if you don't think that you can go to this event where there's going to be lots of children running around, or this event or that event, you do not need to go to it if you don't want to. Okay? You are feeling it. You are having a difficult time right now. Infertility, the stress of infertility has been compared to the stress of dealing with a cancer diagnosis, of dealing with an HIV diagnosis. And the massive, massive difference is we talk about cancer, don't we? It's something that's open and that's out there. Whereas sadly at the moment, infertility, miscarriage, baby loss is not something that is discussed as often as it should be. So you're probably less likely to come out and say, no, I'm not drinking because of this, because you don't want to share it with them. And that is your choice, my darling, okay? That is absolutely your choice. If you have a partner as well, and if they're attending events with you, I would suggest that you have a conversation with them before you go to events to talk about who each of you are comfortable sharing your story with. And that's to avoid being blindsided by your partner telling someone something in good faith, them getting a little bit sloppy and deciding that they're going to come up to you at 11 o'clock at night to offer advice that you never asked for. So having a plan, and I know I sound like a broken record, but having a plan is so very important. All right. Some of the things that, in my opinion, there's just no excuse to let slip over Christmas are your supplements. If you're taking fertility supplements, it takes 2 seconds. Get it done. Don't listen to your own excuses. Your hydration levels, and this is true whether you're trying to conceive or not, please stay hydrated. If you're lucky enough to live in a country where you can walk up to the tap and get a glass of water, come on, drink your water. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. So that's been my top tips. I'm just going to shimmy over them again. Scheduling, calorie banking, aim to maintain, plan your environment, think about alcohol, decide now what's realistic. Oh gosh, I'm running out of hands again. Protein, acknowledge that it's easy to make good choices, keep moving, do not let setbacks set you back, plan and know your boundaries. This is my advice from many years of working with women in the fertility space, in the menopause space, even in the weight loss space. This is a time to love yourself, love the people that you care about, and enjoy yourself. So please, 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 please make that your number one goal this Christmas season. Be realistic, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. All right. I've been Claire Innes, as I've said, founder of the Fertility Mentor. I hope you've found this helpful. I would love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether there's something that I've missed out on here that you think would be useful to other ladies. And I'm going to over and out right now and wish you all the happiest ho 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 Christmas. Bye.